ready? Hit! Hit!
So all we're gonna do
Hit!
is let's start.
Hit!
Let's start with
Hit!
the shuffle. Alright, let's start with the shuffle. Alright, all right here.
Brand new era. Yeah. Yo, I got doors opening, no more poking in. I'm so running in, Usain bolting in. I'm squashing dreams, hurting self-esteem. Tell a friend, I'm running circles, these other suckers ain't closing in. Brown skin, new cat, fed necks. Look how we perplex, such a sick deliverance. Hence, the reason why all these messages, text, voicemail, emails coming in. Talking about they wanna shout, yeah, they want the kid. To hit him with a 16, so I pop the lid. See what I got, that's how I'm a little bag of tricks. Call me the tool man Taylor, cause the game I fix. I'm something like a blessing, I'm something worth to mention. I'm so out of their perspective, like the fifth dimension. I'm on my money stretching, that means I'm green fetching. Already got them thinking, see, I'm barely even stretching. So what they gon' do with it? What they gon' do with it? So what they gon' do with it? What they gon' do with it? So what they gon' do after we go? How they gon' act after we blow? Red lights, we still be on go. Hot damn, it's a brand new show. See, I got options, light skin, Puerto Rican.
That's what I want you to look like.
Occasions every weekend, but I ain't boasting, man. You see, I'm toasting, fam. To this good life for so long, I've been hoping. So it's only making sense that doors is now open. Coping, I built a buzz and now I'm roasting. If you ain't bout your money and you ain't bout your grind, so you's a waste of time and might as well commit the crime. And hope that you retry, put your life back in the line. See it like that, not even on my mind. I'm steady plotting, ink blind, elevating rhymes, making it harder for these other suckers trying to shine. Please keep it moving, get a new persona, game is over. Brand new era for the masses, yeah, we taking over. H to the Izzo, yes, I'm hot, but do not call me Hover. The name gon' be on Bobby, brand new brand like Supernova. So what they gon' do with it? What they gon' do with it? So what they gon' do with it? What they gon' do with it? So what they gon' do after we go? How they gon' act after we blow? Red lights, we still be on go. Hot damn, it's a brand new show. So what they gon' do with it? Grab the mic and damn, I wasn't bullshitting. Louisville, big back, major league with it. Serving lame MCs, no soup kitchen. Listen, while they was parking lot pimping, I was writing in the parking lot pimping, reminiscing all the times I was living. Broke as fuck, so now poverty I'm kissing. So goodbye in my rear view. No more worry about when bills are due. Life is good, no need to argue. Got a whole new look at life, I'm brand new. Brand new things, brand new dreams, brand new chicks, brand new flings. Never needed ice to have such bling. Brand new era, there's a brand new king. What they gon' do with it? What they gon' do with it? Grab the mic and damn, I wasn't bull. What they gon' do with it? What they gon' do with it? What they gon' do with it? Grab the mic and damn, I wasn't bull. What they gon' do with it? What they gon' do after we go? How they gon' act after we blow? Red light, we still be on go. Hot damn, it's a brand new show. What they gon' do after we go? How they gon' act after we blow? Red light, we still be on go. Hot damn, it's a brand new show.
Landon, I'll catch you later, my man. Tatiana, good work today. We'll see you later.
The music on there was perfect, man.
So we released that back in like 2010, 2011 when we were still a thing. He actually just finished chemo for his non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, man, in his ankle.
Man.
Yeah. So I asked him, I was like, hey, man, hey, because it's his song, right? I'm like, hey, I want to use it for this promo video. My buddy, does this badass thing where he trains little kids, to adults, and I want to showcase his work. And he's like, hey, man, I'm honored. I'm honored. Use it, man. I'm like, yeah, bro. Hey, I got to link you guys up because he's, you would get along with him.
I bet, man. He sounds like a pretty cool dude, man. So.
But so we'll just kind of roll right into it, man. Guys, welcome to this one time. Today, my guest is a man of will, like stone, like determined, like a beast in his own right. He's out there day in and day out, training all types of athletes from, what would you say? Your youngest is probably your boy, right?
5 years old.
5 years old. Your boy's out there killing
He's
it.
out there 6 days a week pretty much now, just with kids. 3 times his age.
Man.
Going 2 days. He doesn't care, man. He's an animal. So he'll go out there and just put in work. So, yeah, I got kids that are up to 14 years old out there that are just, I got kids from the Cheetahs, the Arizona Cheetahs, the track club out there. Some of the fastest kids in the United States out there training with us. So,
yeah.
It's just, there's some really elite young athletes out there. So,
there he goes, showing his skills.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, we're sitting in your home, man, enjoying.
Yeah.
I finally got you behind the mic. You're a tough man to nail down. Like I said, you're out there day in, day out. Just putting in the work. And I appreciate you taking the time. I am sitting down with Jason Tollefson.
You got it.
You say it?
You got
the mindset athlete. Right?
You got it, man.
Yeah, man. It's all about the mindset.
Exactly,
like,
man.
The body will follow.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
I always tell the kids, I say, let your body fail, not your mind. So push through that pain. So
yeah. So
that's the biggest thing.
I came to know you because you get your haircut at the same place I do.
Yeah. I've been going to Adriana for like 10 years, 11 years.
No way.
I've known her since the baseline and priest days over at JJ's barbershop.
Oh,
so,
shit.
Yeah, when she said she was going over to Gilbert, I said, all right, cool.
Well, then I'm going.
Right. Well, I had actually moved over here beforehand. So
yeah.
And I was like, well, geez, that's awesome. So, yeah, I love it. I remember when I first started going in there, though, there was just like, it was like my own private barbershop for the first 3 months because nobody knew about it.
Yeah.
And now forget about it, dude.
Yeah, it's packed in there.
Dude,
yeah.
you gotta get there like, 2 hours in advance just to get a number and then go hang out at the Subway or the Fries and then come back.
That's me, man. That's me whenever I can get in there.
But that's what happens when you do good work.
Exactly. And they've expanded like that. They first had like 5 chairs and now they got like what, 9 or 10
chairs. It's out of control.
It's awesome, man.
And everybody knows, that's the place to be in Gilbert.
Yeah,
so.
for sure. Because I followed Christian there, and we met because you came out and coached a handful of sessions with the soccer team.
Yeah.
My Sunday soccer team that I would play on. And I was very impressed with you. So like that night I was like, hey man, I just started a podcast like 2 weeks ago. I was like, I need you on. And you were like no hesitation. You're like, I'm there. Like, let me know.
Dude. I was totally on it. That was exciting. So
yeah,
that was fun going out there too. So that was a great time.
Yeah, I definitely learned a lot. And like I said, I could see your work and appreciate your knowledge and, just the years that you could tell that you've put in, and not just like preached it, but you walk it. Like you're out there showing the moves day in and day out, man. Yeah. So definitely wanted to, like I said, just showcase that and what you're doing, and people that maybe would are looking for your services, or maybe don't even realize that they require it, and then next thing you know, it's like, oh dude, I totally want to look into that. But just to wrap up on that barbershop, man, I followed Christian there just like you followed Adriana, and I got my haircut by Josue for the first time last year, damn near 2 years ago. I went in there and he's like, what do you want? I was like, I'll take it all off. He's like, what? I said, take it all off. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, I left with the full beard and a full head of hair, and I'm going home clean shaven and a bald head.
Wow.
And he was like, okay. And I was like, and I go, wait, before you start, I was like, on the journey there, have fun. So he gave me the old man haircut. He gave me this crazy sideburns, a pencil stash. I got to show you the photos, man.
Yeah, I got to see
He had fun, man. And then he's like, I'm going to send this to my girlfriend. And I didn't know that his lady was Adriana.
Oh yeah.
So and she had to cut my hair a few times before that, and then she hooked it up with the mohawk after that.
Yeah.
But again, just taking it back to like the first time, I had my interaction with you, I was impressed. I mean, you came with all the equipment. You had sleds. We were doing box jumps, and it was all explosiveness, which some of the soccer guys aren't familiar with.
Yeah.
But I played high school football, and that was my extent. So I know some things, and I was doing insanity workouts, which is actually why my ankles are fucked up right now. Like I'm taking a rest from sports till January. I told myself, so no basketball, no softball, no soccer. But a lot of those moves I was familiar with, so I felt good when you were like, "Look at this guy, look at him, be like him."
I get excited out there.
Yeah,
it's fun stuff, man.
Yeah, when it clicks, when you're like, "Hey, it's you're trying to teach somebody," and when that finally clicks, I saw a few of the kids out there. Like I shot a promo video which I just showed to you that will be dropping.
Dude, that video was absolutely wonderful. I've never seen anything like that. That it was just beautiful. I almost teared up watching it because it was so awesome. I can't wait to watch it 100 times tonight. So as soon as you leave, I'm watching that thing over and over and over again.
I'll get it to you because that's on YouTube,
bro.
but I have it set to drop on next Friday.
I'll wait, man, because that's insane.
No, I'll send it to you.
That was just incredible work right there. I haven't seen anything that awesome.
And it means a lot because like I was telling you, like that's the first video I've made like that.
That's insane, dude. Because that's a skill right there. You put something together that awesome. So.
Yeah, and you said that, and it makes me feel good to hear that. But at the same time, man, it's like I'm showcasing your work, which is equally a skill, and the product out there is amazing, man. And you get familiar with the kids.
Yeah.
You know them on a closer level because you're having to push them, and you're asking more from them. And you even got some parents out there.
Yeah, parents are jumping in the workouts now.
Yeah. So your clients, if I can call them clients, they range from like what sports or what are they into?
They play every sport. They're basketball, football, soccer, every sport. So these kids come from. They're just trying to develop their athleticism.
Yeah.
I just love getting out there and work with them. So.
Yeah. So. Where did you get your schooling? Like how did the mindset athlete become?
Man,
here? What was your trajectory to this point? If you can sum it up in 2 minutes.
I guess when I was a kid, what really got me into this was I remember being maybe around 14 years old, and all of a sudden everybody around me just hit this spurt where they were just jumping through the roof, dunking, and all this stuff. And I was like, man, I gotta get like these kids. I gotta get up above the rim like them. Being 5'9", I did everything I could. Right there. I did everything I could. I ordered jump soles, air alert, everything they had available back in the day, and I was out there, 6 days a week, just doing everything I could just to get my hops up, doing all kinds of crazy weight training. And it took me a few years, but I got to the point where I ended up getting like almost a 40-inch vertical and stuff. But that was so long ago. But I mean, I just spent so much time just, I remember going to school at the time, and I would just kind of skip class to just read books on this stuff. And I just was infatuated with it. I just couldn't get enough of it. And so, I didn't even ask to get into this whole coaching thing. I kind of got sucked into it, and it just kind of took over. So.
Well, I can tell it's a passion.
Yeah, I love it.
So that's evident right off the bat.
Yeah.
So did you have any like formal training or schooling?
And so that's what I'm doing now. And so I'm at trying to finish up this degree in exercise science right now.
Yeah.
But that helps. But actually getting out there and doing it is what makes you. You learn. You're like, okay, this works, that doesn't, and you learn the progressions, and you just learn how to apply things.
Yeah.
And then that's where you really get better at it. So.
Yeah, it's like you can read you can read about it all you want.
Yeah, it ain't gonna get you any better at it. You're either out there doing it, and that's what happened. Is for years I was just doing it because I had a bunch of kids asking for help, and then I just kept working with them, and just kind of grew from there. So.
Bro, because like, what's your average group? Because when I went and filmed you guys, there was at least 26, I would say.
Then yeah. So it ranges. It can be anywhere from 10 to up to 20 to 30 people in a group. So if parents jump in, it doesn't matter. So it's crazy because I just happen to keep buying more and more equipment, and it's just like now I got a garage full of just sleds and ropes and boxes. It's getting out of control. It's crazy because this last camp, it sold out like in 10 days. Like 120 people signed, 120 young kids signed up in 10 days, and I had to close it. If I left it open, it would have been over 200 easy. So
yeah,
and that's just, and there was like really, very minimal advertising for it. It was just kind of just getting out there, I guess, word of mouth, kind of like the JJ barbershop. You do, I mean, the barbershop we're talking about. If you do good work, people will come.
Yeah, the word gets out.
Word gets out.
Yeah, and you're in a good area here where you're doing it. The Gilbert, close to the US 60.
Exactly.
In a good area. So it's definitely. It's not like a downtown, buzzing place. So like there's a lot more of the, the suburb
It's
home.
a suburb, yeah.
So clients abound.
Yeah, it's just crazy, I've got kids driving from, like I said, I got kids driving 25 minutes, just to come out there and train. They're driving from Queen Creek, from East Mesa. I guess they said East Mark, or I don't know what they were saying the other day. They're driving from Ahwatukee, Chandler. They're driving from all over now, and
that's a testament.
Yeah, it's great, man. I mean, I just feel, blessed just to, have that opportunity to be able to do that stuff. And so I just load up my truck, drive, 30 feet around the corner and set up, and here we go. So.
Yeah. And it's awesome that you got your boys out there, because it's not, they might have, your genetic gifts that you've kind of passed down to them as well, but they're putting in the work.
Oh man, they're putting in work. The parents, they love seeing my 5-year-old out there because he's keeping up with the 13-year-olds and stuff like that.
He's killing it.
Yeah, and so everybody's like, "Oh my gosh," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, you put in the work, you get the results." So
yeah, exactly, and that's what people don't realize. Like they might look at him, in like 2 years and be like, "Oh, well, he's just gifted," No. And it's like they don't see the past 3 years of him doing 2 to 3 a day workouts.
He's out there. He just comes out there with me. I set up at like 4:00, and it doesn't start. We don't start the first group till like 5:15, and he's out there just hanging out, doing ladder work.
Yeah, he's out there playing Duck Duck Goose.
Well, he's talking about the Donald Duck juice. I got the Minute Maid this time. So he's a little upset with me.
I thought he was over here,
No, he's
puffing himself up, saying he beats all the kids at daycare at Duck Duck Goose. He catches them all.
You do that too? You just tell me you beat everybody on the playground, though. We play tag at school. Nobody can touch you, right? Right? You're unstoppable, right? You're a dog, right? There you go. Drink this juice. It's good for you, man. It'll make you stronger. It'll make you run faster, huh? But I got the wrong one. I'll get the right one next time. All right?
Taste it.
I got it. Isaiah, go play the video game. We'll be there in a little bit.
We're tasting it already.
Yeah, it tastes good. It tastes good to me, Isaiah. You need some more there? Are you good?
I'm solid right now, man.
I'll get some more, man.
No, I'm good.
Here, Isaiah.
I'll let you know.
All right.
Yeah,
I was going to say, get your Reese's in the fridge, Isaiah, and then no more interrupting. You play that video game because we're on the air right here. So, D'Angelo, help him out. Get that thing for him out of the fridge. Sorry about that.
You're good, man. You're a single dad at this moment.
Pretty much, yeah.
So
and go get him the Reese's out of the fridge and help him with that. And that should be. Yeah, what were we saying though? I forgot.
What are you talking about? Just the kids. He's out there doing.
Oh yeah, he's out there. Out there at 4:00. Working on the ladders beforehand, and then he's out there just doing double sessions. Most of these kids are ready to puke and throw up. Even the parents after one session, and he's out there doing 2.
Doing it,
which is insane.
Conditioning.
Yeah, he's just
the body adapts. The body adapts. It's saying, okay, this is what's expected of me now. I gotta compensate.
Yeah.
So people look at it and be like, oh man, that looks hard. It's like, yeah, it's hard the first few times you do it, but if you get it down, and not only that, like what gets me is like you're very, you push the technique.
Yeah,
you're like, hey guys, slow it down, because like there'll be times where you're like, when I was recording, I have to just go back because I was at my one session that I saw with you with the kids, but I also saw when you trained us. But you were like, the kids make it, once it's a competition, it's like who scores what point and who does
Sometimes
it fastest.
they forget about the mechanics.
They forget the
and
mechanics.
And that's what it is, though. You gotta get your mechanics down. It's all about progressions. And that's how you learn. I said the speed comes in time, guys. Just get the mechanics down, the speed will come in time. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's huge. That's
everything.
Yeah, that's where I've been lately as well. When I work out, where I was like, get the form down. Especially because my ankles took a beating for me not having, proper form and strength. I wasn't activating the glutes, as they say. And I thought that was the cheesiest saying, but it's so true.
It is, man. I mean, you see all these guys now in the NBA, they're doing those hip thrusters and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then you go to the gym, you see all these, I can have one, thanks. You see all these women, they're sitting there, thrusting their hips up, working their glutes.
Yeah.
You see all these professional athletes doing the same thing.
Yep.
It's huge. It's all about hip extension. So you got to be able to explode through the hips. So.
Yeah, which is what I learned. I really got into yoga and Pilates, man. And that's a lot of it has to do with...
Pilates is insane.
Pilates is awesome,
Somebody
man.
came in when I was at school and taught a class on that. I was like, oh, Pilates is yoga. That's what I thought. I go in there and we're sitting there doing like core work for hours straight.
Yeah.
It's just like,
yeah, dude.
Me? I don't have any more juice. I
yeah.
have this. But yeah, it's tough stuff. I'm like, wow, this is no joke.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Pilates is tough.
It is, man. And I used to laugh, like when I first moved up here, I was a freshman in college, and my girlfriend at the time was going to U of A, and she was just telling me, she's like, I just hit this Pilates class, and I'm like, laughing at her. I'm like, whatever, like I'm just gonna go. I was going to school to be a firefighter, so I'm hitting there, doing the stairs and benching and presses. And
I don't have time for Pilates.
Yeah, and now I'm just like, well, I had a breakthrough because I was going to physical therapy for my ankles. And so I'm doing a lot of like balancing and single leg squats, like that type of stuff. But I'm looking around and everybody else is doing yoga movements. And I'm just like, yo, like if you just are proactive about it and do like your stretches and, holds and yoga, essentially, like it's not going to prevent you from being injured and needing physical therapy, but it's going to leave a really good foundation for you to build yourself back up.
Yeah. It's huge.
Yeah. So, and that's one thing, like when we were done with our workout, you were like, we got to stretch afterwards. You got to stretch. And you were doing some of these, the pigeon, the half pigeon, that type of stuff, the hips, because it's a lot of
you got to have enough
work
mobility.
Yes.
You don't want to be so,
rigid.
You're more exposed to injury, but you still want to be mobile enough to get in the positions you need to be, explosive and dynamic and stuff. So
yeah, and the warm up, lubricating the joints.
That's all it is. It's just getting everything, warming up your core temperature, warming up the muscles, and that's all it is. And so, yeah, you got to go through your warm ups, and warm ups can last. Like I said, I used to start with dynamic stretches just because they were protocol. Everybody was doing them. Now,
same.
I switched over to just doing ladder work with the kids, and they love the ladders. They're engaged, and it's killing like two birds with one stone. So they're working on their footwork and they're getting warmed up at the same time.
Yeah.
And then we progress through some mechanical drills. So we'll go top and speed, acceleration, mechanical drills, and that's an extended warm up. So we'll go, high knees. Or heel to butt, focused on dorsiflexion, and then we'll progress into our A-skips and so forth and so on. But that's just an extended warm-up in itself before we get into plyometrics and agility and the strength work, which is the core of the program. Yeah. And then we always finish with some high-intensity conditioning. So, but yeah, you always, always got to get the warm up in and the cool down. So it's huge, you got to take care of your body. You don't treat it right, it's gonna.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Because at one point too, like your health is gonna be the main focus of your life. Why not make it the main focus or a priority now? So in the future, it's not, a priority for the wrong reasons. Exactly. Again, there's no counting, you getting, a serious illness or disease or cancer, but it's like, dude, like, why not try to live the healthiest life you can while you can?
Exactly. And
that's huge because exercising is also, it's good for the mind.
Yeah, it is.
It's good for the mind. It clears you out. Like there's times where I'm just like, I'm all foggy minded and I'm like, man, I don't want to go in the garage, but just fucking go. Just go. And then it's like, I'll, be doing a bunch of burpees and squats and, high knees, all that stuff. And then finish off with a little bit of yoga, and then I go inside and I'm like, oh man,
You always feel better after you do it, yeah.
Man.
You feel better,
especially because that garage is hot right now, man.
Yeah, tell me about it, man.
You get that extra, but you're out there in the sun right now, man.
Well, we got the shade going over.
You got it's well shaded at the park there.
Yeah, and so
That's true.
it's not too bad, but.
Well, when I went and recorded you guys, I underestimated. I only took one shirt
Yeah.
because I was going to another event
Oh,
up in Scottsdale. I was going to a bar to do another to do a podcast there live, and I only took the one shirt.
Yeah, that's
dude.
not good.
I
dude.
sweat right through it.
Oh yeah, because I was out there. I was watching the video. My shirt was just drenched.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, it must have been hot that day.
I almost thought I was gonna have to throw that shirt away, but I
Dude.
washed it and I was like, oh, okay, it's still good.
It gets hot out there, man, but the kids push through it. And that's what's amazing.
Well,
man.
that's what I think. Where are you from?
I'm from Casa Grande, Arizona.
Casa Grande? No shit. Okay, my sister was born in Casa Grande. I'm from Yuma.
Yeah, I grew up down there in Casa Grande. So.
Nice, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that place is growing.
It's insane how much it's grown, So when I was down there, it was a little hole in the earth. But
So when did you move up to the big city? Because that's what it is. Well,
yeah,
I moved from Yuma. This is the big
yeah,
city.
we were all like, man, one day we're gonna move out of here and make it to the big city. That was our plan, just to make it up to the valley. But I think that must have been about maybe 2003.
Okay.
2003 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I moved up here in 06.
Yeah.
And then I look back,
More?
man. I know you're dying to give me some more. So yeah.
I'll get you some more. Here, I'll hop up real quick.
Here you go. Bring it.
I'll bring it down.
I'm telling you guys, get out here, have a session. If you got kids in sports,
Yeah, bring them out, man. They're gonna love it.
bring them out all one time and they'll get hooked.
Yeah, it's insane, dude. They can't get enough of it. So. Like I said, I just went and got medals for them. So what I do is at the end, so I get their measurements at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then we come back at the end. This is insane. Sorry, I'm just kind of going off here. But
Go for it, man.
So I always knew that I was getting crazy results out of these kids. And I remember the first time I got called up to do this AZ Youth Football Combine. And so I got friends that run that thing. And so I was just impressed that they even called me to come up and do it. Because they got NFL players up there. They're huge. These guys are gigantic, And I'm like, you guys want me to come up and do mechanical work and some agility work with all 100 kids at one time? Mm-hmm. I'm like, little old me, huh? And so, I guess they called somebody else, but he was like, how much are you going to pay me? I'm like, man, I'll do it for free.
Oh.
And I was like, can I bring a couple kids with me? And they were like, yeah, definitely. And so at the end, I got all my kids. I guess that I was over there cleaning up. I looked back and they medaled out. They had the 2 fastest 40s at the whole thing. They killed the 5.10. But all my kids that I brought out were absolutely dominating all the other kids at the event. I mean, they were dominating the kids that were like 6, 7 years older than them, just killing them. And I was like, man, maybe I'm doing some good stuff out here. So I started taking numbers down. So I went through and got a spreadsheet.
Ooh, nice.
I went online, and so I got their measurements at the beginning, and the 5, 10, 5, and the 40.
Okay.
And then, so I didn't know what to expect. This was last session in May, I believe.
Okay.
And so some of these kids were from 6'2" to 6'1" down to like 5'3" to 5'2", and their 40 time was like 7'7", 7'5" down to 6'5", 6'4". Oh, and that was like after the first group in the morning on the Monday or the Thursday morning group. I was like, wow, maybe this stuff is pretty amazing. So I went back Thursday night, same thing. I'm like, wow, okay. And then the Friday morning, I'm like, oh my goodness. And I'm like, wow, this is insane. Like, these numbers that I'm getting are ridiculous. Like, these kids are really knocking a whole second off their 40 or whatnot.
Oh, dude, that gives me chills, man.
Yeah, I'm like, wow. I mean, I'm really getting some amazing results out here. And so, but yeah, it's
awesome. Well, the body, like I was saying, the body adapts.
Yeah.
It's like you're asking more of it. It's going to be like, okay, well, I can give you a little bit more because I got to keep up. Yeah. And then you're like, well, now I need more than that. And then it's like, okay, well, let me give you a little bit more,
But that's what it's all about. It's all about getting those numbers. So once everybody started to see those numbers, they're like, okay, wow, this is the real deal here. So
it was funny because when I shared a video or when I shared photos of me being out there recording your session, one of my friends on Facebook was like, "Is that Tollefson's kids? They kicked our ass last season."
Really? And see, that's what I like to hear. So it must have been in flag football, huh?
I think so. Yeah.
And see, that's how this originally started. Sorry, I'm gonna go off again.
Yeah, go.
Because I didn't I didn't ask to do any of this, dude. So it was like a couple years ago. I had a friend, the coach is the Cheetahs. He's like, hey, come out and do football with us. And I'm like, nah, man, you kidding me? I'm going to be around a bunch of kids. I'm an animal. I can't be around these kids. I'm going to yell and rip their heads off. And I was just out there just to be a parent. And then next thing you know, I'm out there helping. Next thing you know, I take over the dang team.
Yeah.
And so then a year later, all these parents hit me up. And they're like, hey, you know, can you come coach our kids again in another league? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And then they win the championship. They go undefeated, you know. And then, and then another bunch of kids hit me up. And I'm like, no, I don't have time for this, guys. And then, you know, all the mothers were like, hey, you know, they don't got dads, or they don't got this, or they don't got that. I'm like, okay, fine. They got to come train with me for a few months. You know, and I take all these kids, and they win a championship, and then just kept going from there and there, and then
snowballs.
Yeah, it just snowballs. The next thing you know, the guy was one of these league directors hit me up. He's like, "There's like so many parents requesting you to just work with their kids, and you know, he's like, can I put this online, you know, and get these camps started for you?" And I'm like, nah, you kidding me? I don't want to do this. And then it just kind of, I was just like, all right, sure, whatever. You know, went and spent about, you know, $5,000 on equipment, and just put together a camp for all the kids, and just kind of, I didn't ask to do it. It just kind of took over. And then here I am a year later. It's just insane now. I got to close it down after 10 days because there's so many people signing up.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, it's wild. So who knows where it'll be a year from now.
Well, that kind of reminds me of my my wife's cousin's husband. Mm-hmm. So one of the family members, and he was talking to me about how he's taking photos of lowriders. I'm like, oh, dope, man, that's awesome. I've seen some of that stuff, like, because I just started getting Instagram, and I saw him pop up a couple times. So that cool. And then later on, I noticed he's like, you know, going through his Instagram. I'm like, 11,000 likes, 15,000 likes, you know,
wow,
2,000. I'm like, hold up. This guy is not even a photographer. He's not. It's not what he does. Huh. But people recognize the passion. Like, he has an eye for it because he naturally loves lowriders and the culture. So he knows like just what he appreciates from it. He gets the right angle, and people notice that. So just like that, people notice your passion. Yeah. And you didn't really ask for that. Like, he didn't ask. He wasn't trying to get famous from taking lowriders. She's like, hey, man, check out these cool lowriders that I saw. You know, where you're like, hey, here's some gems. Here's something that might help you out. And then next thing you know, people are like, I need you. I need you to train my kid. I need you to train me. We need you out here. That's you. It comes from the right place.
It's crazy now, yeah. There's like a big waiting list just for me to coach these teams now. I mean, it's insane.
Well, I saw when you were, again, training the soccer team. You know, you're out there training us for less than $20 a head. And I'm like, man, what's this? This guy's bringing a bunch of equipment. And then next thing you know, 6 different parents come up to you to train their kid. So you got 6 leads, you know, from helping us out.
Yeah, they just walk up to me and they're like, oh, yeah, we were here last time. Can you work with this whole soccer team or
baseball? You know? I think there's a bunch of baseball teams.
I'm just like, yeah, definitely hit me up anytime.
That's what I've noticed from you, man. You don't hesitate to pass your knowledge along.
No, I mean, I'll go anywhere. Anytime anybody calls me, I'm on it, man. I love it. I just love getting out there, setting up and yelling and screaming and getting this work in, man. I love training. I love getting better, you know, and I just love working with other people, having them, you know, experience that. So I mean, I love it. I love it, Dan.
Well, it's definitely noticeable, and obviously everybody else sees it too. So
yeah,
you know, I no other words, but just like, thank you, man, for what you're doing, man. Like, you're doing something great out there, man. And
sometimes I get lost. I'm like, why am I out here? You know, still, even to this day, I'm like, you know, what am I doing? And then, you know, parents text me and they're like, man, I mean, I got testimonials I put on my webpage, and the parents are just like, man, you know, they come up to me like, man, you know your shit, bro. And they're just like, dude, we've been to camps everywhere. And they go, you're by far the best we've ever had work with our kids. And it means a lot, and that's what keeps me going. Or, you know, one of the parents, they just say the kids, they look up to you a lot. And then, you know, and it means a lot, man. It's just all these kids, they're counting on you and they're depending on you. And, you know, it means a lot to be able to get out there and impact all these lives. That's what it's all about. So
Yeah.
You know, I mean, who knows where it's gonna go? You know, like I said, it's just kind of taking off now, and just kind of riding it, man, whichever way the wind blows.
Man, you definitely. It seems like you deserve it. Like it needs to go. It needs to reach as many people as possible, which is why I definitely wanted to get you on the show and do what I can. Not that I have this grand audience, but to do what I can. Yeah. To help and make you known. Do you have like any other clinics coming up? Any other big camps, or is it basically just your week to week or day to day?
So yeah, I primarily do 4 of these things a year for the kids, no matter what. Where I get their measurements in the vertical and the broad and everything beforehand, and then we come back. So those things last, 5 weeks. I try to make them 4 a year. That way it gets them ready for their sports. But like I said, I just kind of hop around in between too. I mean, I try to save some time in between where if I get, some team from high school volleyball team that wants to get work in, I'm like, yeah, I'm there, or anything that pops up, I'm always on it. I never hesitate to work with anybody. And, like I said, I do a lot of volunteer stuff, too. I'm out there volunteering, working with all these kids because a lot of these kids, they still need me. Yeah. I mean, I had one kid came in especially. I didn't hear from him for about, 7-8 months. And he hit me up. He's like, and Cayman's a stud, man. This kid, I love this kid. Both his brothers played Oregon State. I mean, this kid's going to
you told me about him.
Yeah, he's going to be a killer one day. And, he doesn't have anything. He doesn't have, I'm not, putting down a situation, but he just doesn't have, a lot going for him. And so he hits me up and he's like, man, coach, he's like, hey, can you coach my team, man? And I'm like, bro, I'll do anything for you, man. Yeah. Whatever you need, I'm here for you, bro. I got you, man. I'll take them to Sunsplash. I'll take them wherever. I take all these kids everywhere, man. I take these kids, every time after the season, I take them all to big surf, whatever. I do whatever I can for these kids, but they I don't know, man. I just feel
it's
like I just need to be there for them. I don't know. Yeah. I never asked for it, man.
No. And as somebody that grew up playing sports my whole life, like your coach is another father figure. It's somebody passing off knowledge to you. You hold them in a certain light.
A lot of these kids don't have fathers.
Yeah.
So to be able to just step in and do that, and it's kind of cool, man. It's more than just sports.
It is.
It's bigger than that.
It's sports. It's used as it's really a tool. It's mind and body because you're training the body, but at the same time you're training the mind. You're also training how to be resilient, how to learn how to lose, how to take that in stride,
how to train hard. Yeah. And and earn something.
Yes. So, earn like something.
One of the parents. I gotta read you one of those reviews, but this is what she said. Let me see if I could find it on here. Yeah. I didn't think about it until after she said it. I'm like, wow, she's right,
Well, we got my kids involved in soccer this past spring, and it was to teach my son, how to relax, man. He's a hot head. And to learn how to lose, because he would get upset for every little thing. And at the same time, it was to teach my daughter how to become a little bit more courageous and, assertive because she's a lot more timid. It's crazy that they popped out from both me and my wife because like they're too opposite when it comes to their personalities. Like he's more like her, he's really hot-headed, and she's more like me, like very passive, but a little too passive, where it's like, hey girl, like get up, handle your business, So that's what we look to get out of sports. Yeah, because I'm a big believer in it, man. Like it trains the body and the mind,
and you learn how to work with other people.
Teamwork. There's so many pluses, man. Yeah. There's so many pluses.
This parent here, she was like, this is what she said. She says, it was by far the best thing I've ever paid for my kids, athletically speaking. It was hard. They had to get up in the heat, and after each session they were beat. She goes on and on. She's like, one of her kids said, they don't look forward to coming because it's so hard. She says, another life lesson learned. She goes through and lists all these life lessons that they learned just from coming out here and training. She's like, this is just incredible work. I mean, but when she said it was the best thing I've ever paid for them, and I was like, man, get out of here. Are you kidding me? It was like, yeah, that's good. I love it, man. I love it.
You learn a lot. I'm actually, I'm actually looking to interview my high school coach that coached me all 4 years of high school in football and baseball. So I played soccer in between, so he wasn't the soccer coach; he was a basketball coach. But you know, I'm Mexican; I got to play my soccer, and but I'm gonna interview him at the end of this next month, September, and it's, you know, everybody holds him in fond memories with him. Like, he wasn't the perfect person, the perfect coach, but goddamn, he didn't bullshit you, you know?
Yeah.
And that's, you appreciate that. And he was really a larger than life character. I mean, he was like 6'5", 300 pounds, like big dude, man, you know? And big deep voice, you know, that type of shit. And so I'ma love getting him behind the mic and just, just, hey, tell me about, like we did, how'd you get here? What's going on? How does that mind work? And that's the thing about coaches. They just, they're in your life, and they, it's a father figure, but also like a mentor, giving you life lessons, like a teacher. It's everything, man. Yeah. So again, like what you're doing is amazing. I hope it reaches more people. Yeah. That's all I'm getting at, man. So, but other than training, man, what else do you do? What else do you what do you like to do? Obviously, you love to train kids, but what's something else that you enjoy? Like, what's the other side of Jason or Jay? Your friends call you Jay, right?
Well, everybody is on. They've always known me for basketball.
Yes.
So
putting up 68 points.
63.
63. Sorry,
I
gave you 5.
Should have been 68, but my teammates wanted to shoot the ball too, and so I mean, it could have been 81, but you got
to be a team player.
Yeah, I guess, man. But if I knew I was that close to 81, I would have gone for 81. You want to hit that Kobe number, but I played a lot of basketball, still playing a lot of leagues or whatnot. But that's what everybody's always known me for, and that, and
So you play ball in high school?
Yeah, I played a little bit in high school.
Did you play in college?
I never played in college. No? And that's the crazy thing is I kind of stopped going to high school at one point. Like I said, I was from Casa Grande, so
yeah, you get wrapped up.
It wasn't the best environment, maybe, looking back. Yeah. And so, but I ended up here now, which is kind of amazing. So
it all leads you to where you are now, and I really feel like it's a good path. Whether it's the right path, I mean, we don't know, but it's a good path to be on. So you have to look back, and people will appreciate that, because they the kids and some of the parents, look up to you, and they would appreciate, to know where people came from, because that's definitely something that people love to hear. Somebody crawling up from, the pits, and becoming and making something out of themselves that. Not something out of themselves, for the, what's the word I'm looking for the vanity of it, I guess. But, making something of yourself as you're making an impact on other people's lives.
I'm still 38. I mean, I'm 38 now, and here I am trying to finish my bachelor's degree. Yeah. And I mean, I never planned on doing that, but, I'm out here working with these kids, so I figured might as well just keep it going. Same, man. So I didn't plan on finishing it, but I want to be the best I can. Yeah. And then that's something they're going to be able to look at too and be like, well, wow, this guy never gave up. And so that's why I still play basketball today. And, you got to be able to live in the trenches with the kids, You can't tell somebody to bust their butt or bust their ass, and if you're not willing to do it yourself. So
that's true.
You got to be able to work through the pain, and
Well, you're not out there sitting like on a golf cart, like telling them what to do. No. You're showing them. You're like, this is how we're gonna do it.
And that's what you do. You learn from experience, and everything you've experienced, all the pain and everything you've experienced in life.
And you know what they're going through. So you can be like, hey, you're struggling. I know exactly what you're going through. Yeah. They'll see that.
Yeah, and that's what they relate. They can relate to that. So.
Oh yeah, man. So what did you like to do before basketball though?
Oh, jeez, I can't remember a time when before basketball.
Damn, basketball's the first love.
Yeah,
huh?
Pretty much, man. I mean, It was just kind of an outlet for me.
So who's your favorite player?
Oh, man, I'd have to say.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I'd have to say Iverson, man.
Iverson, I see
dude.
that.
I like Iverson.
I
dude.
see that. You know, I was gonna say
He-
actually,
he
I was
just-
gonna introduce you as this guy out here, shooting J's like Michael Jordan, grabbing boards like Barkley, stealing them like Iverson.
You know, but the name they always give me, the name I've never been able to get away from, is that white chocolate name, and I hate that name.
They call you white chocolate?
And they've been calling me that since I was 9 years old, and I hate it, bro. I hate that name. I hate that name with a passion.
Damn.
But you know,
I see that. But you
it
never
is
pick
what
your
it is.
nickname. That's the thing,
You know,
right?
you know.
can't.
But the thing is yeah, it is what it is. It's whatever.
Yeah, I can see.
The thing is, though, is he used to pass the ball well. I try not to pass the ball at all. That's the difference. So I like Iverson better. So, you know.
Iverson was a beast, man.
Yeah, he was a killer.
Ooh, people forget.
He was a killer, and he was rebellious, and that's what I like most about him.
Yeah.
He just did things his way.
Well, he was the one that had that practice, right? Practice?
No, the thing I remember
Or was
him,
it playoffs?
Yeah, but the quote I remember he said was when he crossed up Jordan, and they said he's like, I don't care who he is, and everybody's like, well, he's a legend. He did this, he did that. I was like, I don't care who he is.
Yeah, on the court when I'm there
don't-
facing him.
Yeah, he's like, I don't care who he is. I don't have to respect him. I don't have to do anything to him.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's.
You're supposed to assert yourself on the court.
Yeah.
You know, it's different. You know,
Yeah.
it's different.
That's what I always tell the kids. You know, they always come up to me and they go, "Can I play this? Can I play this position or that position?" I'm like, "Don't ask me for anything." I said, "If you want it, you go and take it.
Take it.
But if you're going to take it, you better get your ass out here and work for it.
Yeah.
You better get your ass out here and put in that damn work.
You got to show me.
You got to earn it. If you want it, don't ask anybody. Just go and take it and make
Yeah.
it yours." And that's what Isaiah does, my little 5-year-old. He goes out there, like I said, double sessions, 6 days a week. He's a dog, man. He takes it. And that's how you got to be. If there's something, it's bigger than sports, too. If there's something you want in life, if you want it, go and get it. Take it. Don't wait. If there's something, but it's not going to be easy. And don't ever stop trying. Don't ever give up. And they learn that out there through all that pain, through all that sweat, and all that hard work. They learn to never give up, never stop trying.
No.
They could take that with them through every other thing in life they do. So
Yeah, and
you
they
develop
realize-
that mindset,
Yes.
that mental fortitude where you're just gonna always, put in 100% effort and just never stop trying. You'll always come out on top. So
Yeah. Who David? Are you familiar with David Goggins?
no,
My dog, dude.
I never heard of the guy.
You need to familiarize yourself with David Goggins.
Yeah, what sport does he play? Is he
No,
no sport, no nothing?
he was a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he has the
Man.
record for the chin-ups, the most chin-ups.
Yeah.
In 24 hours or something like that. But he's known as the hardest man alive. And you definitely will find inspiration
Goggins.
in him. David Goggins, man. Look
gonna-
him up right now.
I'm gonna put that on my phone.
But his quote is that most people give up at 40%.
yeah.
Most people give up. When you think you've had enough, he's like, you really only tapped into 40% of your potential.
I found him right here. Yeah,
Bro.
I like him.
Yes, get
I
on
can
him.
tell by looking at his face. He's got that look in his eye like he's ready to.
Yeah.
He's a
He's
tough
great.
dude. Yeah.
What's up, Isaiah?
Good, Isaiah? Yeah, he's doing good.
Yeah, he's great, man. You got great kids.
Yeah, they're good kids. They're all right.
Yeah, man.
They're pretty good kids.
Yeah, they're out there hustling, and
Yeah.
at night they kind of relax a little bit, let their
Yeah.
hair down.
Yeah, a little bit.
You gotta.
Yeah.
A little play with the work.
Yeah, you got to work hard, play hard, right?
Boom. Took the words right
Yeah,
out of my
we
mouth.
play hard. That's what we do. That's another thing we do a lot. We do a lot of playing. So
That well,
live it up.
that'll teach you a lot. Like people like. I feel like my wife's a little bit like that, where she doesn't like. She'd rather them like, do some book work sometimes, or. She's not a city girl because she's, this isn't like a city, but she's from up here. Like, I'm country. I'm like, yo, let's go out there. Let's sweat. What I did for fun as a kid, what's your other boy's name? D'Angelo. When I was his age, till at least 13, 14 years old, dude, I was walking out in the desert because I'm from Yuma. I'm outside of Yuma, desert. Just pick a direction and walk until I needed some water. Then I would turn around, run home, get some water, and then walk back out, dude. Like, that's all I would do, man. That's all I would do, is I would just be out there in the heat, walking around, exploring. Like, that's it. And my wife's kind of like, I don't understand that. Like, I'm like, just let the kids go. Let them experiment. Because that's the thing we have. Our idea about kids is when they're playing with like a board game or a puzzle or some new toy, like, they don't know how it operates. We do. So we place these expectations that they should use it how we know that they should use it, but they're experimenting, man. They're like, hey, what happens if I drop it? Hey, what happens if I do this? What happens if I do that? Like, it's experimentation. So you can't really get mad at them because they're trying to figure out the world around them. And that's crazy to watch that happen in real time. Like, I'm sure you get that when you're teaching a kid a certain technique, and then all of a sudden, boom, the look in their eye changes when they're like, they grasp it.
Yeah.
And then they might not have it down totally yet, but at least you kind of know that they have the baseline to work off of.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're 100% right. So
101%.
Yeah. and a lot of it, like I said, a lot of it is just progressions we go through. Like, they don't know they're learning things. Like I said, it's all about mechanics too, especially when we go through the sprint mechanics and stuff like that. I always tell me, you don't think Steph Curry went to the gym and one day and all of a sudden he came out and he was Steph Curry. No, he went in there and did it over and over and over and over and over and over. Just repetition.
Muscle memory.
Yeah, you just do it right. You do it so many times where it just becomes instinctive.
Yeah.
And it just takes over. The next thing you know, you're just instinctively sprinting down the field correctly, and
you make those connections, man, from the mind to the body.
Yeah, and then it just takes over. And so
my
that's the biggest thing, though. Is as I remember, like one of the parents came up to me after the kid's first game, after he got in training with me for a few seasons. He was like, yeah, I scored 4 goals today in my first game. I'm like, Jesus, And then watching D'Angelo over here. D'Angelo was not the most gifted at natural athlete, and so, his first season he scored no touchdowns. Second season, no touchdowns. I think his third season, in like 2 games, he scored like 4 touchdowns. Ooh. He was just bursting.
Just clicked.
Yeah, it just clicks, and and that's the thing. He just put in that work every day. He's out there, just putting in that work, and then it just takes over. So I mean, you don't. Like I always say, you can't beat them. You outwork them, and that's what you got to do. I mean, you don't have to be the best. You just gotta work the hardest, and you can overcome that. Well, you could overcome your genetic limitations.
Yeah.
And like I said, everybody's born at a different level. It's just what you do with it,
Yeah.
So,
well, there's maybe even a argument to be made that we probably even haven't seen the best athletes out there, because some of the people that are the most gifted aren't the most, determined or hardworking. Like because it comes easy.
That's the guys I grew up around with.
Yeah.
These guys, man. I mean, they were 13 years old breaking backboards.
Ooh.
And that's what got me going, because I was like, wow, I want to be able to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
The only difference was I was 5'9" and white, so it took me a lot longer to get to that point where I could do that kind of stuff. But, I mean, I was just so envious of their athletic ability that I just wanted to be, I just wanted to be able to do the things they could do. But but when you see a 13-year-old that's doing, with a 36-inch vertical doing windmill dunks, it's just like, man, there's just so much talent out there. It's just not enough.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of that argument to be made that we probably even haven't seen the best. We just seen the most determined.
That, or you just, just being at the right place at the right time. So.
Yeah. And is there an argument that maybe the most determined is technically the best, because then they actually fulfill their potential?
Yeah, maybe you're right. You're right. And then sometimes you get that someone that's genetically gifted and they put in that work ethic, and that's when you end up with somebody like Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, you didn't mention LeBron.
Or LeBron, exactly.
Oh, okay.
LeBron.
I thought you had something against LeBron.
LeBron's in there too. I'm just a little older, so. But no, LeBron's incredible,
Yeah.
You don't really appreciate those guys until after their careers are over.
Oh, for sure.
And you look back and you're like, I hated Kobe. I thought he was just the biggest.
Yeah.
But after looking back and just the way he had that 666 routine where he'd be in there 6 hours a day, 6 days a week. And he would spend 2 hours on the track, 2 hours in the weight room, 2 hours on the basketball court. He put in that work. He put in that work.
Yeah.
And you got to respect that.
people don't see that.
He didn't score 81 on accident.
No, people don't see that.
He outworked him.
Yes.
Combined with his genetic potential, that's when you get the best in the world. So.
Yeah. Well, you're out here working with these kids, man.
Yeah, trying to get them to be the best, and so.
Yeah. Well, let's get the people. Let them know where they can find you if they need to find your services.
Oh, so I've got my Facebook page, which I got Mindset Athletics. So I post stuff on there, and so you'll be able to find when the next camp starts. The next one will be probably in November or so.
Okay.
And then I also got a website, themindsetathlete.com. I got a Instagram here too.
Yep.
I rarely get on. I think that is. I think that's what is that? I have to check that. I think that's the Mindset Athlete as well.
I think so.
Yeah, the Mindset Athlete as well. And so, yeah, and the website, themindsetathlete.com, and that's where you can find me at. And I got a lot of good photos. Sometimes I put some good content up there as well, and got a lot going on there. So.
Oh yeah. Dude, it's been awesome, man. I hope we can sit down again, and then next time let's just shoot the shit, man.
Yeah, dude.
Let's just talk sports. Talk fantasy football. You talking about all these trophies in the fucking in the hallway?
Yeah. I got quite a few of those. So. Yeah.
You are definitely the mindset athlete, man.
Man, I appreciate it, man. I just going with it, man. I didn't ask for any of this. It's just kind of going wherever it takes me. So.
Well, and that's the best part. That's the best part about it. Yeah. You're not asking for this, but you're willing to step into that role.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely.
And so that just means that your quality is gonna be unmatched.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
It means a lot.
Thanks for sitting down.
Yeah.
And
thanks for having me on
guys, please seek out Jason, and you will not regret it. But thanks for tuning in, and we will meet up again. All right, guys. Say bye to the people, Jay.
All right. We'll see you guys later, huh?